Hello and welcome to another Demi-Sound tutorial. This is part 4 of the Trance track make, and I'm just going to quickly show you through before we start what is happening. So as you can see, after the drop here, I've now extended this melody to start playing here by starting to fade in very slowly. And then to finish the track, we just kind of fold back into the original idea. Okay, so I'm just going to show you what I'm currently working on. There is a couple of things, one of them being the major headache, which is the synth line. The synth line is a little bit messed up, so I am thinking of, in the next video, just redoing the synth line. Not the melody itself, just the choice of sounds and the way they're processed, because I think it's a little over processed after going through some videos and trying to make things fit. And we've obviously gone from one melody to another, and settings are all over the place. We're cutting out frequencies where they're no longer kind of there, if you know what I mean. So the first thing is I got rid of this lead 1 for now, which sounds like this. It really just isn't something I like the sound of. So I will replace the third lead with something else, unless I like the sound of these two leads. So the ones that are playing are the Pluck Stars, to have some lovely brightness to the melody, make it sound cheerful. And then this one to make it sound really like serious and give it some weight. So together, so they're starting to fit a little bit better. I've cut some of the bass off on the lead 2. In fact, what we'll do is we'll just rename them to lead 2, so we know we're dealing with a different sound there. Alright, so we've got the original idea here, then it drops down into the first introduction of the melody, then it introduces it with the bass but without no kick or anything like that, and then we go into the build-up, which I am going to attend to and make it a little bit more exciting. Then there's the drop, and then there's like a synth whine, which kind of brings you into that, which, so I need to do a little bit of work on there, add a bit of weight to that, and really get that bass line working a little bit better. And then I would say there's a little bit more processing, a little bit more tweaking, should we say, to the bass line, just how it's mixed together. I'm not 100% liking it. When it gets to here, I like the sound of it, it's really good, but something needs to happen here just to even things out a little bit. So I think there's a few conflicting frequencies here and there, so the next video we'll revisit the synth line and the bass. So in this video we're just going to look at some of the smaller things like the effects and the cymbals and stuff. We've neglected all this sort of thing, and I just want to keep this video a little bit short because I have got a serious pain in my chest, well, below the chest, which is making it difficult to breathe, put it that way, but it hurts every movement I do, and it's hurting constantly whilst I'm doing this video, so I'm going to make it a little bit shorter, just to get over it and obviously not put you guys through too much heavy breathing. Right, so let's have a look first at this. I have done a little bit to it, which nothing too special. So first things first, I cut the low end off, so I'm going to get rid of that one now, because I've added the second EQ here and I've cut it off to just under 1 kHz. I didn't want all that low artifacting in there. One, it's not in the correct key in the lower regions, so it sounds really out of place in the track, so it saves having to pitch shift it into the key, plus I don't want all that bass in there. And then I've just put an exciter on there to really excite the top end, and the only other thing I'm going to do is, if you listen to the build-up, it really pierces through, and it's not going to be nice on headphones. Just this bit. It's just that little bit uncontrolled, so what I'm going to do is put a compressor on it whilst we're here. So effects and compressor. We'll just go for a 2:1 ratio. We'll have a nice, fairly slow attack, and we'll have a very infinite release, so we don't hear the compressor return to 0 dB straight away. So we're trying to catch these peaks. So we're catching them now. So we could be going overboard there, so let's turn the threshold down. Catching them here now. I just want to catch that peak there. As you can see, it's catching it at about -6. So if I can get it, -4, sorry, if I can get it between -4 and -6, I think that should suffice. That's pretty much perfect. That was right on -5, smack bang in the middle. Some good editing there. I've just keep the knee as that because it's quite a slow attack, and it's not detrimental to the sound of the track. It's just literally to control that really harsh part without reducing the highs. So that's all we've got in the effects, really. We'll probably go and add a few more in at some point. Let's have a look at what else we've neglected here, which is the crash. So we'll call that crash sample, or samples, that'll do. And I've done a reverse of this crash as well. Okay, so we get this effect. Okay, so it fades away quite quickly. Doesn't really seem to have much substance in the track. Okay, so there's 0 processing, so we'll just drop an EQ on there. We'll get rid of that. Let's just have those repeating. Over here. So I'll have that there. Just boost. Okay. We could add a little bit of distortion on there if we just go for the highs. Just to really bring that like really shiny, polished sound. So yeah, that's okay. Let's just have a listen to that in context. Let's add a little bit of that low back in. Just listen to that one more time. And as just a quick note here, as pointed out, when you're EQing, especially when you're boosting, make sure you are controlling the output, because if this is going into the red, you're starting to get digital clipping, and we don't want anything like that. So we can go through and tidy things up, because we've done a lot of boosting, and when I'm recording these videos I tend to kind of really just rush through things. And it might not always be the best way to do things there, but hey ho. Okay, so the bass does need tweaking. I'm thinking the kick needs to change. Sounds a little bit weak for the track in my opinion. So what we could do, if we add in another metrum, we are going to start delving into Avenger at some point, and some nice kick samples on there. But for now, we'll use this, and we'll use some presets. I think we'll go for, I'm not really into the trance ones, unless I have some nice new kick drums. I'm sure I downloaded some new ones, but hey, oh there, the XP trance kicks. See, that's quite a weighty one. Let's just see how that fits in the track. Let's just close that. We've got kick here, so we need to look for that new track that's just been added in, which is there. So let's drag it below kick. We'll call that kick new, and then we know we're editing a different track. So I'm just going to scan across the entire track. So we're putting everything in the same place, and we've got snap on, so making sure it's all there. We'll mute this one and let's just see how it sounds. There's obviously going to be zero processing. Okay, so we've got a nice start. Remembering we're in A sharp. A sharp there, and that we want to keep it in the key of the track for now. I think we're going too low there, so let's just set that up to a G. Let me just refresh the melody. Right, we're using G sharps and F sharps there, so just to remind me, so we could go for a G sharp there. Let's just have this on repeat. It's obviously a little bit over to the top. Let's model the amp. It sounds nice, but I think I'm making that fit too much. So let's just go through some presets up here. See, that's quite a nice sounding one if we tweak that. So let's go into pitch. Trying to tweak it so we don't have too much of an after sound on there. So as you can hear, we've got a lot of digital clipping happening here. And we do have all these on. We need to take them off. They're for reference only. You shouldn't be mixing with things on the inserts on the stereo out whatsoever, because you get a misguided sound. So if you listen to it with Maserati, it sounds a lot more compressed than it should be. Right, okay. Let's just go here. See, that sounds quite nice. If we right, so the kick is going way too high there, so we'll just control that now. Obviously we're on an A sharp, so the fundamental frequency is here. let's have a nice wide spread just to boost that. So we now know 117 Hz is the main boost of the kick. So if we go into the basses, where was the basses there? Let's just have a look. We've got 2 Pro Qs there. See what I mean? It's a little bit all over the place. There's a few frequencies cut out there. That was an experiment. Right, let's just add another one on. This is just for demonstration to cut the 117 Hz frequency out. So that's where we are, the A sharp. I'm just going to make a little bit room there to about -4 to 5 dB. If you want to be more precise, just wipe that down to 6 dB, and then you can see we're on just below 4 there. Let's just do this to taste. So you can hear it's adding a lot of rumble with that kick being up there. So if we just cut some of that rumble out with the bass to give that kick its own space, I'd say that's about enough. We're going to about -4. It looks drastic there. If we put it back to 12 dB, if we want to give it a shortcut. So maybe we could add some spike into this. Is this turned up? We have got a bit of volume on there. Add a bit of spike onto it. Okay, so with a bit more processing, I think that could be a better kick. Let's just put it into context over here. Okay, so it's sounding a lot cleaner. If we actually compare that to the original, it's quite low, quite weighty and round, whereas this one has a little bit more stab. It's tightened to the frequency that the bass is operating near, but because we've made a cutout for that kick to sit and we've shortened the release of the kick, we're creating a very, very precise but kind of, it's hard to describe. You're creating a space for it, but at the same time you're tightening it up but keeping it sounding natural. That's what I'm trying to explain. You don't want too much weight on the kick, which then conflicts with the bass. There are ways of doing that, but this particular track I want it to be very solid and separate from the track, and then we can blend it together in the mastering stage. So personally I think that is a better start to the kick. So new kick is kicking out a little bit high, so let's give it a bit of control. I'm going to go for a classic compressor. We'll turn that all the way down. We'll go to a 2 to 1 for now. We'll have pretty sharp attack, and we'll tweak the release and threshold to taste. Makes it sound thicker, that makes it sound tighter. So let's have it about there. We're catching the peaks between -1 and 2. If we just go to the extreme and just reverse it back, bypass this. Right, so we've kept that transparent. The best way is to dial it in over the top and then dial it back, and you get a nice sound. So I've put the release to about there because that's where it sounds nice, whereas enough shortness in the sound, but it's adding that little bit of weight at the bottom just to emphasize the presence of the kick. And I'm just going to keep the knee in the middle. So let's just reduce the volume here using the fader. Okay, so we're keeping it at a nice level, so we're giving some headspace to master. Let's just check at the out. Okay, so just hitting over 0 dB there, but usually what I tend to do is -5 on there. So we're reducing the volume and we're giving ourselves some headroom later on. Okay, so let's just see how that sounds further along here. Okay, the kick's sounding rather lost there. We'll add some weight into it. Just do a bit of a roll off there. Just get rid of the boxiness there, just tame that a little bit. Okay, so we're getting there. I might lengthen out the kick a little bit. It sounds good here, but I might just add a little bit more weight into that kick. Like that there, just that little bit. So we've gone from here. Okay. Now the next thing we'll cover in the next video here is the leads. That one being the main, I think what we'll do is we'll just delete all the processing. That's including going back to the original leads down here. So deleting all these, and then we'll head over to the lead. Where are we? Can never find things on here, and that's why colour coordination is going to be helpful. The lead master bus here, the mixing bus, and we'll get rid of all that. I think there might be a bit too much distortion on there, and you're having to compensate with a bit too much compression. It's making everything sound a little bit squashed and unnatural. So we'll go through some of that. I'll do a little bit tweaking before we start the video next week. Apologies if that video's not as good as the last few, but we'll get back on track next week when I can actually move and operate a little bit better. So thank you again for watching. Just a quick thank you to say to everybody, it's amazing that you're still following me, and we're nearly at 2,000 now. So I've gone from counting 60 subscribers to nearly 2,000, and it's probably in the space of a year and a half to nearly 2 years, but it's growing faster and faster now. So it's a big thank you to you guys, and I'll be posting every Thursday from now on. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next Thursday.